Welcome back everybody to the channel. It's me, Alejandro Mendoza, or the Nerd Chicano. Either way how you say it, it's all good here. And we're back again for another video as we look at another movie in my collection. And today is a good one because we are discussing one of my favorite directors of all time, Abbas Kiarostami, as we look at his film from 1990, Close Up, from the Criterion collection. Of course, I hope that this video finds you all well, happy, healthy, and in good spirits. I hope that you all have been enjoying the content because I've been enjoying making that. A reminder that if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please make sure you subscribe. Click that notification bell so you don't miss a single piece of content that drops on the channel, and leave a like on the video as it helps out a lot with helping the channel grow. If you want to lend an extra helping hand, I am available on Patreon under patreon.com/thenerdchicano, and you get exclusives like video essays along with early access to videos just like the one you're watching right now. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this review of one of my favorite movies of all time from one of my favorite directors of all time. So this Iranian film comes from our director Abbas Kiarostami. The film is spine number 519 in the Criterion collection, and let's go ahead and read this introduction, what comes in the actual film, and then we'll take a look at the packaging and go on from there. So, Close Up. Internationally revered Iranian filmmaker Abbas Kiarostami has created some of the most inventive and transcendent cinema in the past 30 years, and Close Up is his most radical, brilliant work. This fiction documentary hybrid uses a sensational real-life event, the arrest of a man on charges that he fraudulently impersonated the well-known filmmaker Mohsen Makhmalbaf, as the basis for a stunning, multi-layered investigation into movies, identity, artistic creation, and existence, in which the real people from the case play themselves. With its universal themes and fascinating narrative knots, Close Up has resonated with viewers around the world. This comes with a new restored high-definition digital transfer with uncompressed monaural soundtrack, audio commentary by Mermes Saeed Wafa and Jonathan Rosenbaum, authors of Akira Kurosami's The Traveler, director Akira Kurosami's first feature. Close Up, long shot, a documentary on Close Up's central figure Hossein Sabzian, 6 years after the film. New video interview with Kiarostami, a walk with Kiarostami, a documentary portrait of the director by Iranian film professor Jamshid Akrami. New and improved English subtitle translation. So that's everything that's included in this edition of Close Up from the Criterion collection. Now let's go ahead and look at the packaging. This is the front, this is the back, this is the spine, and then you open it up and you have a little small booklet. Wouldn't say anything special. And then you have the back of the booklet. Inside here you have credits, the transfer notes, you have an essay, and it has some really interesting color choices here. It's like the colors of the bars on TV. It's pretty interesting what they chose to include as the color scheme for the booklet. But yeah, this is just pretty much the essay. There's nothing else in here, no art or stills from the film, but that's the booklet. And then of course you have the chapters on the back here of the art, and then you have your Blu-ray disc right here. So that's pretty much it for the packaging. Nothing too crazy, but it is simple and clean. Now, Close Up is one of the films of Abbas Kiarostami that I had watched for the first time when I did our month on him at the Nerdcore years ago with my friend Aiden Burns and my co-host and wonderful friend as well, Brad. We did this month and we covered this film, and along with other films like Taste of Cherry, 24 Frames, and I can't remember the other one, but I know that there was we did like 5 films. But we did all these movies and we had really grown to be interested in the films of Abbas Kiarostami. And I went ahead and watched more of Abbas Kiarostami. As you can tell on the channel, I have reviews for the Koker trilogy from him, and I also own Taste of Cherry on Criterion, which I will be doing a review of in the coming weeks on the channel. But Abbas Kiarostami is not a filmmaker that I am blind to. I've seen his films, and I am a big fan of what he makes. And on a second rewatch, I really appreciated Close Up even more. It cements itself as my second favorite film from Abbas Kiarostami, and it's a film that to me speaks volumes on what it means to not just be human, but what it means to be an artist, what it means to be a public figure, and specifically what it means to be somebody who is idolized. People will always look up to people, and I think that it's counterintuitive to believe that nobody should idolize anyone, because when the spotlight is on them, it leads to people wanting to idolize them. And it's pretty normal, and it's a normal thing about creating art for you to be idolized. But where our character goes is a different route that he shouldn't, even though it's understood why. This is a person who doesn't have the economic resources to go to film school. He doesn't have the support from family. He doesn't have the support of his government or his neighbor to really push him to become something more. So he aims to impersonate somebody who he idolizes and who he believes to be the image of what he wants to be in this life, and he takes on that identity, and it causes a lot of trouble for him, but his reasons are really understood as to why he would do such a thing. It's a movie that blurs the lines between narrative and documentary, especially with using real life footage from the actual case that was recorded and putting that into the film. I think that is just genius. I love that he uses the people that actually were present in the case and the people who were involved in it. I think that that's also really genius. That's what really makes Kiarostami the filmmaker that he is. He takes unconventional routes to the way he presents his story, and here, as he blurs those lines between documentary and fiction and narrative, it's really that incredible style that propels Close Up to being one of the greatest films of all time. I mean, if you're looking to get introduced to Abbas Kiarostami, I recommend you check out Close Up, because this film is as great as it gets, and I specifically love those last 15 minutes of this movie. I mean, specifically when the filmmaker and the perpetrator meet up together after he gets released, it just touches my heart, and I love the film so much, and I can't believe that it took me so long to pick it up. It's been in my collection for a while, so I never got to really pop it in, but I'm glad that I finally have it, and I finally was able to discuss it with you all, because this is a film that to me is one of, if not the greatest films that showcase what you can do when your narrative blends those lines between fiction and reality. Now let's talk about this restoration. So of course this is a high definition digital transfer. I watched this on my Panasonic 4K player on my TCL 4K TV, and I have to say that I actually really did like the way that this film looks. It is a little rough around the edges, but you have to think about it this way. This is close up on some, low budget film stock that is being, not shot with the greatest equipment known to man. This is a really ragtag kind of film. It's very boots on the ground, guerrilla type of filmmaking. And because of that, it's not going to always look the best. Now, when compared to like Taste of Cherry, which I believe is the better restoration of these two films, I think that this film still looks really good for what it is. The upscaling did help with the sharpness a bit, and it helped with the detailing, but I don't think that it presents itself like more than a step below 2K, honestly. I think that with a proper second cleanup to it, maybe being presented in 4K Ultra HD, it'll help. But I'm pretty satisfied with this Blu-ray release, because I think that it looks good on the video side, and when it comes to the audio, I'm not complaining about it. I think that it sounds good. The uncompressed Monero soundtrack fits the video track, and there's no scratching, there's no hissing, there's nothing that I think is a clear problem where it was distracting. So I think that it works well for what it has, but I don't know. I imagine that maybe when we get a 4K release of this, or maybe a cleaner upgrade to it, maybe I'll think differently. But for now, what I was able to see within the video and audio track, I can't find anything wrong with it. I think that it works well for his 1990 film that blurs these lines of fiction and reality, that feels like it's really a ragtag type of film. So nothing really to report here that's bad about this transfer from the Criterion collection. So if you're thinking about picking up something during the Criterion sale at Barnes & Noble's or a flash sale, consider picking this one up, because this is a great film from Abbas Kiarostami and it is a great release with a lot of cool special features here, especially a whole feature film in here. I love it when Criterion includes stuff like that, and they'll include films from their directors. I know that the Shaft 4K also includes the sequel to Shaft. So if you're looking for something to pick up and you want to explore some more world cinema, Abbas Kiarostami's Close Up is definitely a recommendation for you all. But without further ado, if you all enjoyed this video, make sure you keep up to date with me on social media by checking me out on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Serialized, TikTok, and on Twitch under the same name, The Nerdy Chicano. And I'm also doing some cool stuff with the Nerdcore, so check us out there at thenerdcore.com or our YouTube and Twitch channels at the Nerdcore with the same handle on both of those. And of course, my friends, I'll be back for another review next week, but in the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed this one, and keep watching movies. Tell me in the comments what you all think about this release from the Criterion collection. Let's talk in the comments. I would really like to hear y'all's thoughts on Abbas Kiarostami as a director. But without further ado, to my wonderful cinephiles and renowned scholars, celebrate the love of cinema today, tomorrow, and every day after. Catch you all in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.